Peace, 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 peace. I hope my sound is okay. Okay, now I see myself moving. All right. This is going to be a quick live. I committed to doing two 30-minute lives a week, but there have been more things to address. But, anyways, here we go, right? Here we go, here we go, here we go. It is me. It is unapologetically QI entering the building. Now, I haven't really just been on here like talking about. Um, so when I was able to really get on here today, I was trying to catch up. I was on a little bit last night, so I caught a little bit of last night's activity in terms of Clyde and the Lemon Show. Now, I want to speak on that because basically how this all started was, Lemon had started going over to Clyde Divas. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. Lemon started to go over to Clyde Divas and hit the panel. If y'all can remember, there was a situation with Goosey where Goosey was like, why is Clyde, why are you in the title or something like that? And Lemon went off on Clyde. Clyde came over. They resolved the issue because Lemon threw Goosey under the bus and blamed the whole thing on Goosey. So, and then Lemon was basically, going over there, sliding over there, as he says, to Clyde's. And, I've been supporting Clyde way before the beef sector once again, because I came from the conscious community and I started following Ashe Divine through Young Pharaoh, found Clyde Diva through Ashe Divine, and so on. So, I've been supporting Clyde a long time. And, I've always liked her content. So basically, Lemon was sliding over to Clyde's and, it was funny. Like the chemistry and everything was funny. Okay, so then one day I was listening to Lemons and I heard Lemon say, that, like basically Clyde and him were playing back there behind the scenes, right? However, they did it, Instagram, behind the Instagram walls, right? So, like, I went over to Clyde's comments and I said, let me find out that, you done sent Lemon some nudes. I'm going to go bipolar on you. And so, next thing I know, Clyde struck up a live. So, I'm laughing and I slide into the live. And basically, Clyde was like, QY, because you thought it was serious. And I was like, nope. Like even, I mean, they did it, right? They had already did it or whatever, but I know Clyde, right? I know Clyde. So anyways, before you know it, he came over there or whatever. And, we were, most of the people in the chat and everybody, we were having a ball. We were laughing our butts off. It was just good, funny, hilarious types of content, you know, and, I was just like, Clyde, why don't we like let's just keep this going. So I thought that basically it was probably going to happen primarily from Clyde's channel. Um, I didn't know that. I should have known because I know Lemon. He wants everybody to come. He'll come to your panel at first. He'll start supporting you at first, but then when you start heavily supporting him, you don't see any more of that. That stops or whatever. So the next thing I know, Clyde, became was up there co-hosting, which was good. It was good. It was good, smooth, interesting. The dynamics was great. It was funny content. He was not as aggressive. He wasn't cussing like most of the women out in the. It was a great balance. So, that's sort of how that's just transpired. It was nothing serious. Like, I'm hearing a lot of people out here. Like, I heard, I, wasn't really interested, but I clicked into ZX chat. ZX is live or whatever after hearing Clyde today. Just wanting to know, because I missed something. I missed earlier today, what happened earlier today in terms of VS and ZX. So I clicked over there, and the first thing I hear him say is, just like they tried to set up this Clyde show. And it was like he made that, like, I've just noticed that people were making a mountain into a molehill. It wasn't, it wasn't even intended to be a long-term permanent thing. It was like they were supposed to, meet up and meet up, go to church and the steakhouse or whatever, which would have been good content, fun content. Nobody was like trying to just bring Clyde into the beef sector. It wasn't that type of thing. It was just for some enjoyable content that wasn't toxic, that wasn't filled with people being verbally abused or assaulted. It was just some good, funny uh content. It's like she sort of kept him balanced, or they kept each other balanced for the most part. But I don't, I'm just not getting why so many people out here are making a mountain into a molehill. And then it's like really the subscribers lost. The subscribers lose because I mean, we need a variety of different content, and it was something different. It was something different, like it, for enjoyment purposes. Like, I enjoy coming on here laughing. That's like the biggest part of YouTube, and that's the biggest gap in YouTube as well, because it's not too many with all of this verbal abuse of women, disrespecting women and stuff like that, which I don't like. It's triggering, you know um and it's not something that I like, that I enjoy seeing. But it was something more lighthearted and more enjoyable, in which a lot of subscribers appreciate. So the subscribers took a loss on that. They took a loss on the fact that we were going to have, even if it was just a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or a day or 2 days, it was just going to be like something lighthearted, something that will make you laugh. I enjoy laughing. I enjoy stuff not being so heavy and digging into people's lives and all of that. I enjoy the lighthearted stuff, but it just seems like everybody wants to make everything so dark and so heavy. No, that's not what YouTube was intended for. This is an entertainment app. And basically it was just going to be entertainment. So, I just came on here to pretty much say that, like, I don't understand why so many people have changed this into this big thing, turning it into a mountain over a molehill, when it was just a collab, to have some fun, to laugh. So I mean, gosh, what, I don't get it. I just don't get it. But anyway, it seems like Lemon wants to continue. I don't know how far Clyde would go with things, because but Clyde's just playing things by ear or whatever. So I mean, we're still getting a little bit of here and there. We're still getting a little bit here or there. However, it's a little toxic because 1 minute he's praising Clyde Diva and telling, and then the next minute he's like trying to degrade her, which I don't understand why he would do that. Because in the first place, all he had to do was basically, and from my impression, what happened was Clyde, when her name started coming up a lot, in terms of her going over and being on Lemon's panel and stuff, Clyde decided not to, like, she was like, I just don't want to deal with that. I just don't feel like dealing with that, because she just wanted to do a different type of content and just be peaceful in her own corner, because she's been through a lot. And I could definitely understand that, because me myself, I've been through a lot. And some of us just want to come on here and do some content, or either just laugh. We want to, when we log off of this, we don't want to feel heavy and like we need to go do a sage clean or clean our spirits. We just want to, laugh and uplift ourselves, and every party be okay. Every party, pretty much has benefited or whatever. Because really, in that situation, once Clyde started going over the Lemons panel, Lemon was benefiting the most. However, Clyde, like people were reminded of Clyde again because Clyde has been in the beef sector for a long time. Like, since the Five Babe situation, and every time it seems to turn out the same. So it's like some people in her sector don't want her to succeed or don't want her to be her and do her type of content or whatever. And, like really, like this had nothing to do with this. This had nothing to do with no beef sector versus black sector or anything. Cause at this point, a lot of us cross support each other. A lot of us are cross supported. Now, do I believe that there should be some type of merger? No, because of the type of content. People think, oh, this and all that. But, because it's good to have a variety of different content, and each sector gives its own content. Mo3 has its own thing. The beef sector, sort of had their own thing, and the black sector had their own thing. So we got to see a variety of different content, just like if you go to any other areas or sectors, automotive, uh, if you go to the mukbang sector, if you go to the foodie sector, if you go to any other sector on YouTube, it's like when I like the fact that when I feel like it, I could go to that sector. Oh, I feel like watching some videos about food today. So I could go watch some videos about food. Oh, I feel like going to watch some DIY videos. So I could go watch some DIY videos. If you mix everything together and it becomes a mesh, then it loses you lose that diversity. You lose the opportunity to to you know choose what you feel like for that day. So once again, this type of stuff takes away from the subscribers. And basically, subscribers are important because that's how you get your clicks and views. That's how you get your ads and shit. And Cash Apps is optional. Cash Apps and Super Chats. Content creators need to know that that is optional. And the better you don't have to beg for it if people are really getting entertained. If people are getting entertained, they enjoy, they may not have it at the time, but when they have it or whatever, they might spray you with love. Okay, I got a little extra, or whatever. Let me spray them with love. Or a lot of times I buy the membership. I'll purchase a membership or something like that. Just to show some love for the content creator that's entertaining me. And basically that was a situation of cross support. Lemon went to her panel, he went to she went to his panel. Nothing more, nothing less. It's like I don't understand how people are coming up with all of these conspiracies, all of this, and it sounds like jealousy to me though. It sounds like jealousy to me. And one of the biggest things is you're taking away from the people who are supporting, or the people who are the reason that you can even exist or make money or whatever. You're taking away from the supporters who just come on here maybe for a laugh, who come on because like me, I stopped paying for cable. So, you know, and I like to multitask and do different things. And a part of me multitasking is listening to YouTube while I'm doing this or that, the lives, because it's different from cable where you have to find a show, it lasts an hour, then you got to find another show. A lot of times you people go live and they be live for an hour, 2 hours, then I might have to find something else. But I mean, you don't have to change it. You could just listen, listen to like what's going on or whatever while you're walking around doing this, that, and the other, while you're handling business, while you're driving, um while you may be doing yard work or something. You can listen to, YouTube, and it'll help, for especially for a person like me with ADHD, it helps take my mind off of the task in which I'm doing. But that's pretty much all I came on here to say. It's not it wasn't, it didn't begin as no conspiracy, no big deal, nobody trying to do this or trying to do that. It happened very organically, where, Lemon he was consistently coming over to Clyde's. And I guess, and no, me knowing Lemon, he asked Clyde to come over. And that's the problem that with the whole situation. Lemon could have just very well stepped up that first day, when they started talking about Clyde, and cleared the air, and he didn't. He really should have just came out here and said, "Hey, like, this is what I want to do on my channel. I'm trying to do something different. This is what I want to do. I'm enjoying doing this." Instead of, letting everything fester. And then when it fester, instead of, um, I'm not saying he had to come out here and just go off on anybody, but at least just saying, nah, like, this is what I want to do. And then standing by Clyde, because it was basically about him not, uh, coming to her panel after she had been attacked, and showing support. And that's basically, I've always done that. But then that's basically, what I've been doing, showing her support, because, the people who were in there, the people who know, we know that all of that was innocent. My bad. You know what happened there. But that's just a quick PSA. It was nothing that big. It was nothing that big. And it was just for entertainment, enjoyment purposes. It happened organically. When these people are out here trying to say it was for this reason or that reason, no, it was just, we enjoyed it. And, it was like, keep this going, so that we can laugh more, so we can, enjoy ourselves more. And that's all. And so I'm going to exit the building. I did plan on doing another video. I'm trying to, I've been doing a little more of them, because I see things that I just want to address or speak on. But I'm, definitely trying to get into the mode of doing a 30-minute videos twice a week or whatever. And this is just, because I'm trying to work on my own particular brand and my own particular channel. Now, it won't always be like beef sector type of stuff, because I don't like to get dirty. I'm different. I'm a spiritual based person. I don't like to hurt people, see other people hurt. And even sometimes, like, even though, like, I've been, hurt, or I've been messed with, I don't like to do that to other people, because I'm like this. You're conscious. I'm, like I said, I'm a spiritual person. I don't think like for things to weigh heavily on your conscience, because, that those type of things will eventually just eat you up, drag you down, or make you toxic and evil or negative. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that kind of person. I like being a happy, loving, caring person. I don't want to be negative. But I can, just like anybody else, I can. And here's another thing that people probably don't understand. One thing that you learn, right? Like, if you come, like, I've learned to separate this app from my real life, right? So when I come on here, I'm not looking to date anyone. I'm not looking to, like, if you're gonna be impressed with me, you're gonna naturally or organically be impressed, or you're gonna like my content or like me, like, for who I am. I'm not trying to go way out the way to be something I'm not, to do anything super drastic for attention or anything. I just basically like to come on here and help, or like to come on here and, like, this is called the think tank, and I basically call my people the free thinkers, the critical thinkers, people who think outside the box, people who are not just conforming to the systematic or group thinking, you know um people who see things differently, and have their own perspective, and not just necessarily like the go along to get along. People who just want to come on here like for enjoyment or a pastime, or if you're a content creator, you don't, you don't, I don't want to have to go to war with other content creators. What they do, congratulations, I'll support them. Like, I'm not a hateful person, and I believe that we all deserve a shot. And if everybody find out what they want to do in their own niche, or and stop trying to get in the way of the next person, everything will be better on here, because basically that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's like a bunch of pocket watching, a bunch of greed, a bunch of, people hating on the next person, when it doesn't have to be all this. This is not our real life. Some of these people we would never meet. Some of these people we will never meet. So, they shouldn't be that important in our lives. What should be more important to us is our family, our friends, you know, your significant other or something. That should be the most important thing. Not, what happened with strangers that are spread out all across the world. And so, in a lot of ways, I just don't get it. And I just like being cool. I just like being cool with everybody. I like making people smile and laugh, or I like doing something good for the next person, not expecting anything necessarily in return. That would be a nice, because like, I'm a human too, but I'm just saying, like, just spreading good vibrations, high frequencies, high vibrations. I like that. That's what I like. And that's what you don't like. It used to, back in the day, I mean, a couple of years ago, before, the pandemic, there were like spots. You had your spots that, might be dark and negative. You might go in there and check that out. And then you had your spots that might be, you had a lot of high frequency spots where they were talking about positive things. Even within the beef sector, everybody wasn't beefing. Everybody don't beef in the beef sector. Like, you have people actually covering content, like covering different a variety of different contents, just like politics, just like maybe spirituality or religion. You have people doing different things, and I like the, once again, we deserve and like the variety. Plus, that's everybody fitting into their own lane and doing their own thing, instead of everybody doing the same thing, because that's boring to me. Redundancy and everybody doing the same thing. You go here, it's that. You go here, it's that. Instead of people like finding their own thing to do, finding something new to do, or something that they're passionate about to do. And that's why I can't do, like, I have to do what I'm passionate about. I get bored easily with ADHD. So it has to be something that I'm passionate about. That's why it took me so long to brand or figure out my direction. Because when I first started, it's like I was going and I was covering a whole lot of different things. And, I just wasn't like, I hadn't like really branded. And so now, like, I'm just trying to streamline it down to make it make sense in terms of an actual brand, so people know what to expect when they come to my channel, instead of like uh what is she gonna be on today? Like, and I want people to know, like, who've always supported me, and which they know that every day brings about something different. I might not talk about the same thing. I don't like to talk about the same thing every day. It's boring. It gets boring to me. It gets redundant, no, and I think it makes it, you become too consumed with those things. But shout out to the people who can. I'm not, uh criticizing anyone. But once again, I just came on here to say that real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and get off. But I do appreciate everyone. Y'all hit that like button, share if you can, help me get back into the algorithm, because that's going to make a difference to me, going live a lot more often and bringing forth a lot of different types of content. So, I like to thank you already for your support, as well. I'm now going to exit the building, and I like to say peace, love, hair grease, positive energy, and all that good stuff. I wish everyone well, and I'm out. QI is exiting and building. Peace. I forgot to look at my thing. What's up? What's up? What it do, Bird Bird? Thank you for coming through. I gotta get back. Oh, my bad. I gotta get back in the habit of reading my comments, as well as I have to. I'm going to start, maybe posting a link or whatever, but I'm going to do it differently. And of course, I'm the type, I always like to get my content out first. And that's pretty much why I don't like read the chat first, because of the simple fact that, I like to stay focused to, why I came. I used to have to write things down, but now I've learned or learned how to do it more from the dome. But at any rate, once again, I appreciate y'all, and I'm out for real. Peace.